When the priest, who we are going to talk about today, was traveling down a river in a canoe, all of a sudden it capsized. The Indians who he was with swam quickly to shore. Arriving, they looked around, and where was the priest? He had disappeared. One of the Indians jumped back into the water, swam to the bottom of the river, and there he found who he was looking for, sitting on a rock, praying his breviary as if nothing had happened. The Indian retrieved him from the waters, helped him to the nearby bank, and after they had dried off, the Indians asked him, "How did you stay down there so long without drowning?" And the priest simply responded, "I was praying, thinking about Our Lady." Who is this man that we are talking about? Where was he called to evangelize? What is his story? Continue watching until the end to find out. Salve Maria! I am Brother Morgan. Welcome to this week's program, Following the Saints. I hope you are enjoying them. If you haven't done so already, join our channel. Every day there is more free content for you to watch. Today's saint, I'll tell you right off the bat, is Saint José de Anchieta, who was born in Tenerife, off the coast of Spain, on the feast of none other than Saint Joseph, the 19th of March. He was born in the year 1534. When he was 19, he took a ship to Brazil for the first time. His doctors believed that the Brazilian air would do good for his health. He was not yet a priest, but even so, he started evangelizing. He is one of the founders of the city of St. Paul, São Paulo, which was founded on the feast of St. Paul's conversion. That's where it gets its name from. When he was doing apostolate along the Brazilian coast, he was taken captive by the Tamoio Indians in the village of Iperoig. While prisoner, he continued giving catechism classes, continued teaching the Indians about their faith, and doing everything he could to teach them morals, instructing them constantly in the ways of religion. Now, for you to have an idea, many of them were cannibals. Cannibals. They were not yet evangelized. That was Saint José's job. That was his vocation. So it was a dangerous mission. He wasn't afraid. He learned their language, Tupi. He developed its first grammar book. And to pass time while he was captive, he spent hours and hours writing a large poem in the sand with a stick. The poem was all about Our Lady. When he was finished, the poem had over 6,000 verses. They were obviously washed away by the waves that crashed upon the beach, but he memorized them, and after he was let loose, after he was freed from captivity, he wrote them all down on paper, and we have them until today. These beautiful verses about Our Lady, written on the Brazilian beaches by Saint José de Anchieta. In the year 1566, he was ordained a priest, and God gave him many special gifts to help him in his apostolate with the Indians. Nobody knows exactly how he traveled so quickly, how he covered so much terrain in such a short period of time. Some believe that it was miraculous. One day they would see him in one place, and the next he was already in another, just like we see Saint Philip in the Acts of the Apostles. He also had a great gift, dominion over animals. That is how he survived the unsettled Brazilian jungles. Cobras, snakes left him unharmed. The birds obeyed all his commands. For you to have an idea, once on a scorching hot day, the wind ceased to blow, and José, who was in a boat, it stopped in the middle of the river, and there was no shade for those aboard. What did José do? Well, he asked the birds to come and shield them from the sun's rays, which they did by hovering over him until the wind started to blow again. When leopards approached him, they also did him no harm. Rather, they were his friends. Saint José, the friend of the leopards. Unbelievable. He received the nickname the New Adam. All the animals obeyed him, but he didn't give them their names, obviously, like Adam. He also had power over the elements of nature. He often prayed walking up and down the beach. He loved walking on the beach. And once the tide was out, he paid no attention. He was so caught up in his prayers and meditation that he did not notice. And over time, the tide started rising. When his friends went to look for him, they couldn't find him. What had happened? The water, the tide had come in. Saint José had stayed where he was praying, lost in his prayers, and the water formed two walls on either side of him. His friends went out to get him. His companions asked him how he did such things. Imagine 2 walls of water. He should have been engulfed in the water. No. Saint José responded that God was the creator of the world, and nature simply knows how to obey its creator. Another miracle, just like we see Moses in the Old Testament when he went through the Red Sea and the Red Sea was divided. This was the life of José de Anchieta, a very, very holy man, full of faith and prodigies, responsible for the evangelization of Brazil. He was a true father, a true teacher to the Indian tribes, and he taught them all about faith and morals. One, named Diogo, died without receiving the sacrament of baptism. Preoccupied, the Indians called José de Anchieta, who, what did José do? He resurrected him and baptized him. Soon afterwards, the Indian, full of gratitude, passed away for good. He finally gave his soul over to God, but this time after receiving the baptism. Afterwards, they asked José about it. And Father José said that if he had come to Brazil just to save that one soul, it would have been worth the journey. There are many other stories we could tell about Saint José, like how he miraculously didn't let the olive oil run out in the town, or his many journeys through the Brazilian jungles, his sermons, other Indians who he cured, but I better stop here. I hope you enjoyed this brief summary of the great apostle of Brazil. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Salve Maria.
If you like this video, press the like button and leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos.